impose what is intended really to be the start of something more ominous through the shutdown, and to show that this is really a reflection of broader society's opposition. And whilst it might be online, we hope that the opposition will really be will be more visible from today onwards, and will complement what is already being done by so many others. At the end of today, we will try to put before you what is called a call to action for all of you to consider taking forward, if it is possible in any particular way. We do not intend forming any new formation out of this, no new organization, but we hope that the commitments made today here will strengthen our own bonds of solidarity and connectedness in terms of dealing with the shutdown and all of the anti-immigrant sentiment in the country that is supposedly the reason why these actions are being taken. So all speakers who are here will be allocated a maximum of six minutes. I'm told there is a timing mechanism that will be on screen as you make your address. And what we really expect from each speaker is to indicate what your organization's views and thoughts are on the shutdown and the reasons that have been put forward for it. And more importantly, what do you think South African society, the state, business, and everybody else needs to do to not only deal with the shutdown, but with the issues that have brought this to the fore. So on that note, on behalf of the board of the Kathrada Foundation, I want to welcome all of you here today, and we will try to ensure that we complete this session by 12 o'clock so that you can all go and get ready for the World Cup matches tomorrow, and hope that Bafana does what is needed for this country and for just the mood that I think is prevailing, the mood of optimism around them that must spread well into the next week. So on that note, can I ask our program manager for anti-racism, Retabile Ratsomo, to talk to us about just some of the messaging that is out there that we perhaps need to just be mindful of. Over to you, Retabile.
Thank you so much, Mr. B, and good morning to everyone who has joined us today. As mentioned, over the past few weeks, we've heard one message repeated over and over again, that by 30 June, migrants and foreign nationals should somehow have left South Africa, an arbitrary deadline that has been set by groups who have taken it upon themselves to decide who belongs and who doesn't. But today, this really is an opportunity to be reminded that the loudest voices are not necessarily the majority voices. If there's one thing that has stood out, sorry, I'm having issues with my slideshow. If there's one thing that has stood out in recent weeks, is that South Africans from every corner of society have refused to allow fear and misinformation to go unchallenged. Instead of responding with slogans, they have responded with facts. And instead of fueling division, they have chosen to defend our democracy, our constitution, and our common humanity. One of the most encouraging developments has been the work done by researchers, universities, and civil society organizations to debunk some of the myths that have become so deeply entrenched in our public discourse. For example, we have been told that migrants are stealing jobs, yet research presented here shows that migrant entrepreneurship is often a net creator of employment. A World Bank study has even found that for every migrant employed, approximately 2 jobs are created for South Africans through business activity, supply chains, and local employment. We are constantly told that South Africa is being flooded by migrants, yet the data tells a different story. According to Statistics South Africa and the UN, migrants make up approximately 2.4 million people out of a population of 58.5 million, around 4.1% of the country's population. That figure includes both documented and undocumented migrants. We've also often been told that migrants are overwhelming our hospitals and clinics, but the evidence tells us that many documented migrants have medical aid and make use of private healthcare, while many undocumented migrants actively avoid public health facilities altogether because they fear arrest or deportation. Those who do access public health care pay the same means-tested fees as South African citizens, and in some instances even more. Another narrative that has taken hold is the idea that people simply choose to remain undocumented, as though living without legal status is something preferable or advantageous. But that narrative asks us to ignore the reality of the systems we have built. Across South Africa, we know that documentation is not only a challenge for migrants. Many South Africans themselves have struggled to obtain identity documents, birth certificates, and other official records because of administrative backlogs, inaccessible home affairs services, historical exclusions, and systemic failures. For migrants and asylum seekers, these challenges are often more severe, with years-long delay in processing applications, repeated office closures, and significant barriers to regularizing their status. These facts matter, not because they suggest that South Africa doesn't have serious challenges, because we absolutely do. Crime, unemployment, poverty, and failing public services are real, and South Africans are justified in demanding solutions. But solutions begin with an honest diagnosis of the problem. If we misidentify the cause, we will never fix it. And this is precisely why the response from civil society has been so important. Across the country, organizations working on human rights, social justice, faith, healthcare, labor, and community development have come together with a remarkably united message: reject xenophobia, reject vigilantism, and reject violence. They have reminded us that frustration with the state can never be justification for targeting vulnerable people or taking the law into our own hands. But perhaps some of the most powerful responses has not come from institutions, but from ordinary communities themselves. Across South Africa, community leaders, residents associations, faith groups, and local organizations have reminded us that our neighborhoods have not been built on suspicion, but on everyday acts of kindness, respect, and coexistence. For years, South Africans and migrants have lived, worked, worshipped, traded, and raised families alongside one another. At a time when tensions are being deliberately heightened, these community voices are calling on all of us to remember our shared humanity. They remind us that every person, regardless of where they were born, deserves to be treated with dignity, and that each of us have a responsibility not to inflame fear, spread misinformation, or incite violence, but to protect the peace that exists within our community. Equally significant has been the response from government and from political leaders across the spectrum. Regardless of political differences, many have recognized that leadership requires more than echoing public frustration. It requires us to uphold the Constitution, enforce the law fairly, protect everyone who lives in this country from violence, and ensuring that migration and immigration is managed through legal institutions, not through intimidation, ultimatums, or mob justice. That is the responsibility of any democratic government. The question before us then is not whether South Africa has problems. We know it does. But the question is whether we will solve those problems by abandoning our constitutional values or by recommitting ourselves to them. The organizations and individuals here today have chosen the latter. We are sending a clear message that the voices calling for violence, exclusion, and fear do not speak for all South Africans. There is another South Africa, one that believes in dignity, accountability, the rule of law, and our shared future. And as we approach June 30, let us ensure that these voices are heard just as loudly. At the same time as reminding ourselves of our shared humanity, this action must be accompanied by practical action. For many years, organizations working alongside migrants and refugees have developed practical ways for ordinary South Africans to respond constructively to moments like these. They have encouraged communities to channel legitimate concerns through democratic processes by engaging ward councillors, municipality, and other public representatives, rather than allowing frustration to be exploited by those who promote vigilantism. They have also reminded us that each of us have a role to play in protecting our communities by documenting and reporting incidents of intimidation, hate speech, and violence. Platforms such as XenoWatch enable individuals to record xenophobic incidents, helping to ensure those who incite or perpetrate violence are held accountable, and that accurate information can inform responses by civil society and public institutions. These are our reminders that active citizenship is not only about speaking out against injustice, but it's also about knowing how to respond responsibly. That is the message that we have today, that active citizenship requires from all of us gathered here today a dignified, responsible, and actionable plan to ensure that even the most vulnerable of our society are treated with dignity and respect. Thank you so much.
Good, good. More applause. Please don't restrain yourselves from applauding any speaker. Our next segment is from the labor movements. We will kick off with Solipeto from COSATU, followed by Zwelinzima Vavi from SAFTU. But before they come on, I just want to read just extracts from a message from Fedusa. They were not able to join, but in their message, they said that they understand the anxiety and frustration of communities over unemployment, crime, pressure on public services, and illegal immigration, and say that these are serious and require urgent government attention. And they conclude, South Africa needs lawful migration management, not mob justice, and needs a capable state, not communities forced to fill the vacuum left by weak institutions as it does. Employers who obey the law, not businesses that profit from vulnerability and division. And that's the essence of their message that they have sent through. So let me hand over to Solipeto from COSATU to give us the views and thoughts of COSATU, followed by Zwelinzima Vavi from SAFTU. Soli?
Okay. Thank you very much, Chair, and good morning to everybody. Am I audible?
Audible but not visible.
Yeah. Yeah, putting the camera where I am is going to be a problem, Chair, because I'm at the National Congress of Nehau. So I just requested to go out so that we're able to present our message of support. Let me take this opportunity to thank you, the Ahmed Kathrada Foundation, and thank everybody and in this platform, and good morning to everybody once more. That let me declare, Chair, that as organized labor, in particular COSATU, we reject the shutdown. We stand together today as COSATU and organized labor in South Africa and across Africa because the working class is under severe pressure, and we will not allow that pressure to be turned against fellow workers. We see the anger, we share it. Millions of South Africans are facing unemployment, poverty, inequalities, crime, and collapsing public service. These grievances are not really legitimate. They demand an urgent practical solution from all of us, including government in particular. But let us be blunt, Chair, that South Africans and Africans' economic crisis were not created by migrants. It is rooted in the economic stagnation, deindustrialization, mass unemployment, corruption, austerity, and weak governance. Migrants did not close factories, loot the state, or defund home affairs and labor inspection. Removing foreign national work at the workplace or community will not reopen plants, repair municipalities, will not create sustainable jobs. What our concern is deeply is the current anti-migrant mobilization appears increasingly coordinated and politically. And we're very clear with that, Chair, that from our own analysis, there's somebody somewhere is sitting in the corner supporting or mobilizing or sponsoring this activity of the so-called 30th of June shutdown. Its purpose is to divide the working class, redirect legitimate anger away from the real causes of our crisis, and portray South Africa internationally as a nation consumed by xenophobia. It also sows tribalisms and conflict among African people, threatening the very unity of workers that is needed to confront the exploitation. An injury to one is an injury to all. That's our slogan. We reject every attempt to divide us by a nationality, ethnicity, or origin. Our organized labor is unequivocally opposed to vigilantism. Only the democratic state may enforce immigration, labor, and criminal law. No individual or group has the right to stop people in the street, demand, document, or raid workplace, or deny access to service. You have the right to march and petition the effective immigration control, but protest is not a license for intimidation, unlawful detention, or violence. We have seen where this leads. It leads us in 2008 and after. We will not allow a history to repeat itself. We are equally firm on employers who hire undocumented workers to pay lower wages, avoid labor laws, and weaken collective bargaining are central to this crisis. They exploit South Africans and migrant workers alike. They must be prosecuted and, and be punished. That's what COSATU says. Crucially, we must address the root cause of high level of migration itself. People do not leave their homes lightly. They migrate because of unemployment, poverty, repression, and lack of opportunity. The solution is to support the democracy, respect for human rights, and creation of decent jobs and economic opportunities in the home countries of migrants. Unless African states tackle unemployment, corruption, and underdevelopment, migration pressure will continue. Employers will keep exploiting that vulnerability to suppress wages and divide workers. We therefore call for a coordinated regional and continental development program and for organized labor across Africa to hold government accountable so that the citizen can live, work, and prosper safely in their own countries. Government in all countries, not only South Africa, must accept responsibility. Weak border management, failing home affairs system, too few labor inspectors, and corruption have eroded public confidence. You cannot weaken the state through austerity and then be surprised when it collapses. We demand a capable, properly resourced, and accountable state with a strong inspection, digitalized, but staffed system and zero tolerance for bribery. We support lawful migration management and strong measures against employers who break the law. But legislation is meaningless without capacity. On our call for action on the 30th of June, this is not a protected strike called by a recognized federation or a recognized trade union. Workers should report for duty. Government must act decisively against intimidation and violence against migrant workers, including our members. In closing, Chair, migrants are not the cause of South African crisis. Exploitation and unemployment, corruption, and state failures are. Our answers is unity, not division, law, not lawlessness, jobs at home and across the continent. We should not use this migrant as scapegoat. That's our message to this rally, Chair, and we thank you very much for organizing this rally. And we are there to work together to make sure that we protect the citizen of South Africa. Thank you very much.
Thanks, and thanks to COSATU for quite a comprehensive input and for keeping almost to time. Comrade Vavi, over to you.
Thank you very much, Program Director, leaders of civil society, dear comrades and friends. SAFTU participates in this rally because we believe South Africa stands at a dangerous crossroads. We should not be where we are 32 years of democracy. We should not still have Black people as the overwhelming face of unemployment. We should not have Black people as the overwhelming face of poverty. We should not still have Black people as the overwhelming face of inequality. We should not still have millions of Black South Africans landless and propertyless in a country of their birth. We should not have an education system that continues to sideline the majority of working class children instead of becoming a ladder out of poverty. We should not have a health system so dysfunctional that thousands continue to die every year from preventable diseases because of the collapsing hospitals, staff shortages, and failing public services. We should not have hollowed out the state that cannot effectively secure its own borders, process asylum applications timeously, document refugees and migrants properly, or in some cases, even provide identity document promptly to its own citizens. There are 4 million undocumented South Africans. These are real crises. These are legitimate grievances. These are conditions that have produced deep frustration, especially amongst young people. SAF to insist that this anger is justified, but we also insist that this anger is being deliberately and mischievously misdirected. The crisis facing South Africa was not created by desperate migrants fleeing wars, dictatorship, climate disaster, or poverty. Our crisis is rooted in centuries of colonialism, apartheid, dispossession, and racial capitalism. It is rooted in economic policies that over the past 3 decades failed to dismantle that legacy and instead allowed unemployment, inequality, and poverty to deepen. Migrants did not privatize public services. Migrants did not deindustrialize our economy. Migrants did not destroy state capacity. Migrants did not create mass unemployment. Migrants did not create corruption or state capture. To blame the weakest and the most vulnerable for these structural failures is not only morally wrong, it is politically dangerous. History teaches us that whenever societies fail to confront the real causes of injustice, they look for scapegoats. That road has always ended in tragedy. That is why SAFTU stand against scapegoating. We stand against xenophobia and Afrophobia. We stand against vigilantism. We stand against mob justice. We stand against anyone taking law into their own hands. We stand for the rule of law that must prevail. If immigration laws are being violated, it is the responsibility of the state, not private militias, vigilante groups, or angry crowds, to enforce the law within the Constitution and with full respect of human dignity. At the same time, we demand that government fulfill its own responsibility, strengthen border management, eliminate corruption, process documentation effectively and efficiently, protect refugees in accordance with the law, and hold accountable employers who exploit undocumented workers to undermine wages and working conditions. Above all, we refuse to allow the working class to be divided. As South African worker and migrant workers share the same exploitative workplace, they suffer under the same employers who seek cheap labor. They are both victims of economic system that places profits before the people. The answer is not to fight one another. The answer is to unite against unemployment, against poverty, inequality, corruption, and exploitation. The answer is to rebuild a capable developmental state. The answer is to fight for decent work, for quality public education, for universal health care, land reform, industrialization, and an economy that serves the people instead of a privileged few. That is the struggle SAFTU remains committed to. Let us reject hatred. Let us reject violence. Let us reject division. Let us unite to fight the real causes of South Africa's crisis. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thanks, Comrade Bobby. And there's the voice of labor in this country. Let's hear from business. Kulekani Mate from Busa will talk to us, and then Thabo Umputi from Nitasa will join us as well. Let me say we have got a message from Santaco indicating their support for this initiative. They have already released their own statements opposing the so-called shutdown, and have emphasized that they will not be part of it, nor will they encourage any of their members to be in support of it as well. So thank you to Santaco for that message, a very timely one. Kulekani, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairperson and colleagues. I will be very brief. As a business community in South Africa, we align ourselves with the statements and the messages that were delivered by the speakers before me. We do not support the call for a national shutdown. We do not support a situation where civilians take the law into their own hands. We do not support a situation where people are stopped on the road and ask for documents. We do not support the barging into workplaces, intimidating people, which has the potential and in fact has in some instances resulted in the harm to persons, harm to property, harm to livelihoods. We do not support violence. We do not support hatred. We do not support statements that we should suspend Ubuntu and suspend our human rights. We are a nation that's built on Ubuntu and founded on human rights. And so we do not support the hatred. We understand the pressures that our communities face, but we do not think that those pressures and concerns should be exploited for to fan violence and to fan hatred in our society. We believe that there should be a rule of law, and we also believe that we should treat everybody with dignity and with respect. We support the government's call for the 30th of June to be a normal day, and a call for anybody who wishes to express their concerns through protest to do so peacefully. But we do want to say to our government that it's not just enough to make that call, but that our government should act on that call and make sure that nobody is allowed to break the law and get away with it. We are here because A situation has prevailed in society where people believe they can break the law and get away with it. So the government has said the right things about the management of this situation, but that is not enough. We now need government to act, to be in charge, to control the situation, not only on the 30th of June, but leading up to that. Make sure that there is no tire that is burned. There is no rock that is thrown at a property, that there is no truck that is torched, because the impact of these may not just be a truck torched or a window broken by a stone thrown, but that actually breaks more than the window. It breaks the rule of law in our country even further. It damages the interests of our country, the image of our country. It also evokes retaliatory responses from others. And so we believe in the rule of law, and we call on our fellow citizens to express their concerns in a peaceful manner without preventing others from expressing their concerns as well, and without preventing others from going to work and going about their business, their daily business in a peaceful manner. So as a business community, we do not support, we actually reject the call for a shutdown on the 30th of June. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Kulekani. Thank you so much. We move on to the National Informal Traders Association of South Africa, Mr. Thabo Mputi. Thabo, over to you. I think you're muted. Thabo, you're muted.
Oh, sorry for that, Program Director. Program Director, Ahmed Kathrada Foundation, fellow South Africans, good morning. NITASA greets you this morning. We stand with the Ahmed Kathrada in saying, defend democracy, reject the shutdown. The 30 June is not a day for disruption. It is the day to remember what our Constitution demands of all of us: peaceful civic engagement, dialogue, and constructive solutions. As informal traders, township enterprises, or township entrepreneurs, small business owners, we feel disruption deeply. Every hour a road is closed, every window shut, smashed, every truck burned, that is somebody's income lost. That is a worker sent home. That is food not on a family table in Botlhokong, in Soshanguve, in Soweto, in Sebokeng, Eshowe, and Nkangala. But we also know the frustration behind protest. South Africans are hating, unemployment is high, service delivery is failing in too many places. People want to be heard. The answer is not to shut the country down. The answer is to open the channel of democracy. Our Constitution gave us a powerful toolbox: the right to protest peacefully, the right to petition, the right to engage through local government, through business chambers, through civil society. That is how Comrade Kathrada and his generation fought, with discipline, with strategy, with respect for the rule of law, even when the law was unjust. So NITASA says this morning, we defend constitutional democracy because without it, small businesses cannot plan, they cannot hire, and they cannot grow. We reject shutdowns that destroy because they hurt the poorest South Africans first. the spaza owner, the taxi driver, the fruit and veggies sellers, the day laborer. We choose constructive engagement because challenges like unemployment, illicit trade, and crime need all of us at the table, not all of us on the street. To every South African watching, your voice matters. Use it. Vote, organize, speak to your councillor, partner with your local business movements, build and don't burn. Comrade Kathrada taught us that freedom is not a once-off event. It is daily work. Defending democracy is daily work. NITASA commit to that work. We commit to training and formalizing capable entrepreneurs. We commit to making money circulating in our townships. We commit to peaceful, solution-driven dialogue with government and communities. Program Director, thank you for the invitation. Let us defend democracy together. Let us reject shutdowns. Let us build the South Africa we all deserve. Amandla. Thank you, Program Director.
And I'm sure you can see all of the Amandla applause coming through. We move over to the faith organizations, starting with Reverend Moss, followed by Tandikele Kona and Pradosh Maharaj from the SA Hindu Mahasabha. Reverend Moss, over to you.
Thank you, Comrade Shan, and we're thankful for the Ahmed Kathrada Foundation for putting this together, and all of the colleagues here present. I will speak on behalf of the Evangelical Alliance of South Africa, that is a faith-based group that is connected with the Council of Churches. We take the view, indeed as has been represented by other people who spoke at this rally, we take the view that this shutdown should be rejected, and that we do so not because it is in itself impractical and unworkable. I think that even the people who are calling for it know how unworkable it is. But it is also a sort of rhetoric that is a prelude to wanton lawlessness. It is a prelude to violence. It is a prelude to loss of life. It is a sort of rhetoric that countries that are up to mischief use before they unleash onslaught on other countries. They first start by demonizing their targets and then unleash more lethal force against them. So it is almost as if we are being prepared as South Africans to abandon the values of our constitution and to resort to the sort of things that have no place in our democracy. They are the sort of things that we did before '94, in the '80s, when we took it upon ourselves to make apartheid ungovernable by simply withdrawing our collaboration and the fact of enabling apartheid to continue unhindered. And we're doing that to inaugurate a democracy in which everybody can use the vote, can become a participant in shaping this democracy, and can become, we chose peaceful ways to resolve the challenges before us. Now, to use the methods of what effectively amounts to seizing power from the state in relation to the issue of migrant policy and what to do with migrants in our country, to run a foreign relations policy as it has been done it simply does not belong in a democracy that we have labored to build and are in the process of building as we continue into the future. So we reject that shutdown. We also do not take seriously the assurances of the government that they are up to the task of controlling it and making sure it is that all those who act outside of the law will be dealt with or arrested. We have had assurances of this sort before, only to be found, as we did find in 2021, that the readiness of the state to actually address what such a social turmoil can look like, it's often not up to the required standard. So we are concerned that government has allowed the state to be, and its institution to be so weakened. Indeed, if the Matlanga Commission is anything to go by, we realize that the people who actually break the law are fully represented within state apparatus, even the security establishment within the government. So it is very troubling, this situation where we are, and so as people of faith, we not only reject this shutdown call, but we see it as a very dangerous precedence in how we govern ourselves going forward. And we have to remind South Africans of the very high sacrificial cost paid by countries that were in solidarity with us in our battle for freedom. It is not as if they were in solidarity with us because it was easy or they could afford it. In many cases, they couldn't afford it. The BBC gave a report a little while ago where they talked about the aftermath of the Quito Carnivale battle in Angola and how part of the casualties of that decisive campaign against South African Defence Force at the time, which can be taken as a very real moment of a decisive moment of countdown to our own freedom, how that struggle or that campaign in Quito Carnivale left many schools destroyed, many public institutions that were for the benefit of Angolan people, they were destroyed. And according to that BBC report, this was as early as about 3 years ago, I think, those schools were still in disrepair, which says and reminds us that the price for our freedom continues to be borne by those countries that we today, because of a little discomfort, we would like to force them out of seeking out a living in our own country. So we reject this call. We think it is morally unacceptable, and that it doesn't belong in the new South Africa. And we bear that memory as South Africans of what others have paid for our democracy. And so we call upon our society, the people of our country, and we, as churches, we communicate this with the constituency of the churches to reject this call and to instead open the halls and the facilities that they have as churches in the event of eventualities where a disaster happens, that there will be places of sanctuary, the places of protection for people, rather than those be among those who close the door on women, children, and men who are destitute, who are fleeing for their lives, that the church would stand ready to become part of the solution rather than be part of the problem. We also do so over and above the political and moral reasons that I've outlined, the fact that according to the Christian tradition, we are told that at the end of the day, or at the end of history, the way that God will decide the fate of the peoples of the world will be by making reference to what it is that they did to the poorest among them. God will say to us, when I was naked, did you clothe me? When I was hungry, did you give me food? When I was thirsty, did you give me water to drink? When I was sick, did you care for me? And those who failed to do so, those who failed to show humanity to others, God will say to them, as much as you didn't do it to the least of these, you have not done it to me. It's like God will take the place of those we abused and say we were doing it to him. And so for that reason, we stand on that tradition of faith that inspired prophetic Christianity throughout the ages. And we therefore say all of this, comrades, to reject this call and continue to organize to figure out how best to mitigate its effects. Thank you.
Thanks, Reverend Moss. And maybe it's that dry plant there that's giving you all the reason for the need to scratch your head continuously. So get rid of that picture there. But thank you very much. Next up is Tandile Kona, the president of the Muslim Youth Movement of South Africa. Tandile, over to you, and thank you for coming on board.
Thank you very much, Chairperson, and thank you for the invitation. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace and blessings be unto all of you and to our country, South Africa. Chairperson, I'm here on behalf of the Muslim Youth Movement, but also on behalf of various Muslim organizations, 22 in total, that released a statement rejecting the March 30, the planned March June 30 shutdown, Chairperson. So Muslims, we are united in our opposition to the proposed national shutdown and to any acts of violence, intimidation, or vigilantism directed against peaceful South Africans or foreign nationals, irrespective of whether they are documented or undocumented. Our opposition stems from our respect for the inherent dignity of all persons and from the fact that recent anti-immigrant mobilization has displayed increasingly violent and intimidatory tendencies, contributing to instability and fear within communities in several parts of the country. We are deeply concerned that the campaign against foreigners is increasingly targeting Africans from neighboring countries, including vulnerable communities seeking safety, shelter, and livelihoods in South Africa. Such conduct promotes xenophobia and xenophobia. We dare not remain silent in the face of mob threats, intimidation, and lawlessness. Today it may be one vulnerable group. Tomorrow it may be another. The erosion of rule of law threatens all who live in South Africa. We affirm that law enforcement, including the administration of immigration policy, is the sole responsibility of the state and its duly authorized agencies, not self-appointed individuals or private groups. At the same time, all administrative actions by members of the South African Police Service and officials of the Department of Home Affairs must be free from corruption, bribery, extortion, and abuse of power. We call upon all South Africans to affirm the humanity of all, whether South African, African, or any other person who is inside the borders of our country. We also call on the South African government to investigate, arrest, prosecute those responsible for hate speech, incitement to violence, intimidation, and other unlawful conduct that threatens public safety and social stability. We further call on the government to eradicate corruption and extortion within the public service, and to ensure that applications for visas, work permits, refugee status, and asylum are processed transparently, efficiently, and professionally by the Department of Home Affairs. We further urge the government and the private sector to address the underlying social and economic conditions that result in poverty, unemployment, and joblessness that fuel anti-immigration sentiment in the communities. We caution that anti-immigration movements around the world have often been exploited by sinister extremist, racist, and exclusionary political forces to sow division, undermine social cohesion, and destabilize societies. South Africa must guard against such tendencies and remain committed to its values of human dignity, equality, and human rights. Thank you very much, Chairperson.
Thank you so much from the Muslim Youth Movement. We have a message from the Tamil Federation of South Africa, in which they also condemn this shutdown and all that its intentions are about. So thanks to the Tamil Federation for that. We now have from the South African Hindu Mahasabha, Pradosh Maharaj.
Thank you, Chairperson. Om. Om. Om Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah. Sarve Santu Niramayah. Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May there be well-being and health for all. May there be peace for all. May there be fulfillment and wholeness for all. May there be auspiciousness and prosperity for all. May all be happy. May none be afflicted by disease. And may there fulfillment and wholeness for all. May no one suffer or experience sorrow. Peace, peace, peace. The South African Hindu Mahasabha calls on all citizens and communities across the country to remain calm, tolerant, and compassionate during this period of heightened tension between local residents and foreign nationals. At moments such as these, it is essential that we reaffirm the foundational values that guide our society: respect for human dignity, adherence to the rule of law, and a shared commitment to peaceful coexistence. South Africa's strength lies in its diversity, and we must guard against actions or sentiments that threaten social cohesion. Drawing from our sacred teachings, we are reminded in the Bhagavad Gita that a true devotee is one who has no hatred for any being, who is friendly and compassionate to all. Chapter 12, verse 13. This timeless wisdom calls upon us to rise above division, to reject hatred in all its forms, and to act with kindness, empathy, and understanding toward all people. In times of uncertainty and unrest, we must consciously choose peace over conflict, dialogue over division, and compassion over fear. we urge all individuals, families, and faith communities to offer prayers for harmony, safety, and mutual understanding, and to actively contribute to building bridges of unity rather than walls of separation. At the same time, the South African Hindu Mahasabha emphasizes the importance of compliance with the laws of our country. We strongly call on all members of our community, including business owners and employers, to ensure that the employment of foreign nationals is conducted strictly within the framework of the South African law. This includes upholding labor regulations, ensuring fair treatment, and promoting ethical culture and lawful practices at all times. Respect for the law is not only a civic duty, but also a moral obligation that protects both employees and employers and contributes to the stability and fairness within our economy and society. South Africa belongs to all who live in it. Let us therefore act with dignity, responsibility, and unity, mindful that our collective actions today will shape the peace and prosperity of tomorrow. The South African Hindu Mahasabha remains committed to promoting social harmony, ethical conduct, and the spiritual values that uphold a just and compassionate society. Om Asatoma Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Hari Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pradosh. And I hope that that tone of serenity that flowed from your message is one that can permeate across the country. Thank you so much for that. We now come to the political parties. We did invite the ANC, DA, EFF, the SACP. We had confirmations from the ANC and the DA, and the ANC message will be delivered by Comrade Supra Mohamapelo. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Chairperson, and greetings to the collective of all organizations that are on the platform here today. My name is Supra Mohamapelo. I'm a member of the National Executive Committee of the ANC. I am speaking here on behalf of Comrade Nomvula Mukonyani, the Deputy Secretary General 1, who unfortunately had to attend to the Congress of Nahau. The African National Congress stands firm against the call for a shutdown on the 30th of June 2026. We are conscious, Chairperson, of the fact that though the African National Congress has relentlessly pursued the struggle for liberation of South Africa for the last 114 years, the attainment of democracy does not only bequeath to the African National Congress, but it bequeaths to the rest of the South African citizens. The ANC calls upon all South Africans and those who live, all those who live in South Africa, to continue to respect this democracy, to nurture this democracy, to deepen it, to adhere to it, and to make sure that all the weaknesses that continue to emerge within the democratic dispensation we use democratic methods to improve on them. The African National Congress is calling upon all South Africans to know that on the 30th of June 2026 is a normal working day. We stand with government that immigration enforcement, all the mechanisms that have been put in place must be implemented with all the necessary strictness that it deserves to show and continue to demonstrate that we are a caring nation. The ANC's is against vigilantism, and we will not allow vigilantism because vigilantism takes away the rights of other citizens which are enshrined in the Constitution for them to be exercised. We support as the ANC the National Action Plan that government has approved to ensure that nothing goes wrong on the 30th of June 2026. It is our belief, Chairperson, and the rest of the participants on the platform, that one of the solutions we need to continue to implement and accelerate is the implementation of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area for the rest of the continent in the context of the AU Agenda 2063, so that the development of Africa can assist in ameliorating the challenges of poverty, of unemployment, of inequality that we face. We commend the meeting of SADC yesterday, of SACU, that took place to make sure that there's practical implementation and acceleration of the economic approach that we have adopted as SADC countries. We call upon all organizations, law enforcement agencies, all peace-loving South Africans to make sure that we continue to spread the message from today on the 30th and beyond the 30th, that this democracy that we have must be used by everybody who has a grievance to make sure that those grievances are addressed within democratic value systems that are enshrined in our Constitution. Therefore, we do not support the breaking of the rule of law, which other people are threatening, and it is our hope that law enforcement agencies, as indicated by government, are ready to respond to those who will want to take advantage of the situation which is unfolding in the country and threaten people's free movements, people interacting and moving freely throughout the country. Lastly, Chairperson, we call upon the unity that is demonstrated here today, not only to be because there is an impending threat on the 30th of June, but we must continue to work together for the sake of building this prosperous South Africa that many died for and sacrificed so much for it. We salute and congratulate the Kathrada Foundation for creating this platform to interact among ourselves to make sure that we defend democracy at all material times, including on the 30th of June 2026. Ke a leboga, Chairperson Bayadanki Enkosi.
Thank you. Thank you, Comrade Supra. Minister Malatsi, over to you.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. My name is Soli Malatsi, representing the Democratic Alliance. Greetings to you, Chair, and to all the leaders from different civil society organizations, the faith communities, labor, business, and political parties. We are grateful to the Kathrada Foundation for inviting us and for hosting this important event at such a crucial time in our country. There is no doubt that the announcement of the shutdown and the events leading up to it present a critical crossroads for our nation. And as we approach this planned protest by some groupings on the 30th of June, our position is clear and unwavering that we must choose the rule of law over chaos. We must choose constitutionalism over vigilantism. And as expressed by our leader, Jordan Hill-Lewis, a few days ago, South Africans are not a hateful people. We are a decent, generous, resilient people. In our transition to democracy, we're an example to the world that divisions can be resolved peacefully through dialogue. Yet, in recent times, we have watched with very deep concern the attempts on the social fabric of our communities being pulled apart by lawlessness. And we have to be very clear, there is absolutely no place for xenophobic violence in South Africa. Attacking someone simply because of their nationality is not justice. It is a crime. Banning businesses, threatening families, and taking the law into people's hands does not build a safe country. In fact, what it does is it glorifies and promotes illegality. It destroys the very foundation that was fought so hard and achieved by many who dedicated their lives for our country's democracy. And while we understand the deep frustrations that some communities have, we know the pain of unemployment. We understand full well the fear of crime, the helplessness that has left many feeling abandoned by the state. But the moment we allow anger to dictate our actions, the moment we permit vigilante groups to act as a judge and executioner, we will be normalizing anarchy into our communities. And while as defenders and believers of democracy, we will always affirm everyone's constitutional right to a peaceful protest, all of this must be done within the confines of the law. We will always be respectful of people's right to speak out, but we will also resolutely oppose any individual or group that uses protest as a shield for criminality, destruction, and xenophobia. So our call is to call on all law enforcement agencies across the country to be visible in assisting and protecting all the law-abiding citizens of the country, and to not be on the sidelines when there is a very clear threat, not only on the stability of our country, but the safety of all of our citizens. We call on everyone to help protect our communities by building them up and not breaking them down. Together, under the rule of law, we can build a safe and prosperous and united South Africa for all who live in it. It is very clear that these calls for a shutdown are dangerous. And what is increasingly becoming clear is that opponents of stability, progress, peace, and democracy are becoming more louder and more visible. This calls on all of us who believe in our democracy to unite stronger, to push back against these attempts to divide our communities and normalize criminality masquerading as protest. If we don't do that, the scars that will emerge from these shutdowns will live with many of us forever. They will traumatize our communities and remind us of the dark history that many have fought for and dedicated their lives to bring South Africa here. We need to be more united, colleagues, and we need to be more vocal in condemning any attempts that seek to divide us. And to that end, I want to give a massive congratulations to the Kathrada Foundation for initiating this forum. We need more of these voices being audible in our communities together, because we dare not surrender the future of our country to populists who are hell-bent on breaking the very fabric that has kept and united us for so long. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We move on to the civil society segment, but before I call Ika Swai from the Tutu Foundation to kick us off, there's just a message from Abashlali, which is extracts from the Tapelo Mohape, the leader of one of the key leaders of Abashlali. And he writes that we cannot accept the lies of the xenophobic parties and organizations when they say that they are only concerned with enforcing the law. They break the law all the time. They break the law when they demand documents, barricade schools and hospitals, beat people, force them from their homes and seize their property, homes and businesses. Documented people are regularly attacked. This is about the dangerous form of right-wing politics, sometimes fascist in character, in which vulnerable people are scapegoated for an economic and social crisis created by elites. It is about political parties trying to build their support by targeting vulnerable people. It is about people from dominant ethnic groups trying to show their strength by dominating and sometimes terrorizing people from minorities. When a politics of scapegoating and attacking the outsiders starts, it will always move on to new targets. When politicians build power on us versus them, the us will always keep shrinking. Hindu fascism in India, the genocide in Rwanda, the wars in the Congo, and ethnic politics in Kenya shows us where all this politics leads. He then goes on to make the following calls. We call on progressive organizations, trade unions, churches, and every poor person in KwaZulu-Natal and South Africa to stand between the Amabutu and the migrant, between the mob and the child, between truth and lies. He says the media has a responsibility to take the lives of the marginalized seriously and to report on all forms of intimidation and violence. In this crisis, we must all verify information before we share it. We must defend each other. He says, if you allow the panga to fall on the migrant from Malawi or the refugee from the Congo, today it will fall on your brother from Guyana and your sister from Lusikisiki tomorrow. The same pangas will do the same work. We cannot stand by while our humanity perishes. We cannot go back to the politics of ethnic nationalism. And concludes, we might have had to hide under our parents' beds when we were children. But now that we are grown men and women, we must stand firm and do what is right. If we do not fight for Ubuntu, we will bury more children. Really powerful words from Abashlali. We hand over now to Aika Swai from the Tutu Foundation, who will be followed by Ila Gandhi from the Gandhi Development Trust, and Percy Now from the African Solidarity Network. Aika, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to be invited, Mishan. And as you just mentioned, and several others have mentioned before me, earlier in the crisis, the March and March leadership declared the concept of Ubuntu suspended. These declarations around language have as little mandate as the declaration of a shutdown ultimatum. And so our foundation stepped in early and intervened in the semantic framing of what is happening. And so thank you for inviting us to think. Thank you for inviting us to talk. This effort to organize this call is so important. I will be brief and not as eloquent as everyone that has just gone before, but perhaps it's also good to not be redundant. So to communicate the position of the Desmond and Leah Tutu Legacy Foundation, it is perhaps best to begin by saying that while we recognize that Ubuntu as a word has been diminished, it has been mistranslated, redefined, misappropriated, and so forth. However, its original meaning and the thing that it describes cannot and will not be cancelled. Humanity is real, just like the constitutional rights that each human being is afforded is real. A shared humanity cannot be cancelled. So our foundation was compelled to intercept the semantic confusion, and we obviously did get a response that was quite vile and violent, as you described at the beginning of this call. There is aggression out there, and the reckless behavior of the leadership, especially of the March and March movement, which of course consists of 27 or more other subgroups. So it is a catastrophe, and we have tried to offer our space at our foundation for dialogue about it. We recognize that was what we were called to do, to ensure democracy has any opportunity to. We have to make space for dialogue available. So I would like to begin by encouraging anyone who has space and access to space to prioritize hosting safe dialogues. And safety is what I would like to go to next. I think the current catastrophe, as many of you have said, has been fueled by the weaponization of language, as well as the attempted canceling of language. We thus want to amplify that Ubuntu is a verb, it is a practice, it is an action. It is not just a philosophical concept that can get deactivated or become the subject of some kind of academic exercise. In our communications, we urge every individual to reflect on what they can do this week to reduce the suffering. Actively do, like a verb, to reduce suffering and risk in their communities. While we reject the shutdown for all the reasons mentioned already, it is equally important to call for safety, common sense, mindfulness, and stepping into someone else's shoes, also known as empathy and thinking with common sense around what other people have to go to in order to get somewhere safely. For many vulnerable people, it will be a safer option to stay home and avoid commuting. We call on landlords, employers, and leaders in the various sectors, anyone else in the position to effect safety or contribute to places of sanctuary and protection, to go inwards and reflect on what can they possibly do, where they can do it. That is what the Archbishop called us to do what we can do, where we can do it. And how we get through this coming week will largely depend on the united front against fragmentation, division, dehumanization, and the violation of human dignity. It's the solidarity that got us through so far. And so that is what we are focusing and promoting this week. Discourse has been weaponized to exacerbate unmeasurable damage already. Lives have been lost, families shattered. We see, I mean, really, I don't have language to see what we see here in Cape Town in front of the various embassies of hundreds of people stranded with children and newborn trying to figure out a way to leave this country safely. Extreme forms of suffering. So our solidarity and our practice of shared humanity is still our biggest asset as a human community, and that has been our emphasis in our programming. You cannot shut down humanism. So what we will shut down, however, is divide and conquer tactics. Anti-Blackness has to be shut down. Misinformation has to be shut down. And being a legacy foundation, we are invested in educating youth and the general public, of course, about the massive contributions and sacrifices that were just mentioned. Sacrifices by thousands, including the Archbishop and someone like Ahmed Kathrada. So their work and the collective attainment of democracy cannot be in vain. So we see it as our duty as a legacy foundation to protect it. And that's what we do by teaching it. So we wish to remind everyone that since history education is optional after the 9th grade in South Africa's public schools, it is upon civil society to fill the gap and the devastating consequences of youth and first-time voters not being aware of the history of Pan-Africanism and the intellectual capital that Black consciousness and Black theology has gifted us. In summary, the liberation of Black people will never be achieved by the dehumanization or violence against the most vulnerable and the most exhausted. Thank you for inviting me to contribute.
No, absolutely powerful words. Thank you so much for that and the message from the Tutu Foundation. Ilaben, Gandhi Development Trust, over to you.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to aid the views of Gandhi Development Trust. We are reminded today of 1984, when, when we were organizing UDF. We used the slogan, apartheid divides, UDF unites. And that slogan brought the masses together against the apartheid boogie. Now, apartheid was based on prejudice, and prejudice justified the unjust discrimination of Black people in this country. And we know this so well because we suffered under that rule of apartheid. Today, we are experiencing exactly the same thing. And these people who are causing this division within our countries on the basis of a prejudice. It is a prejudice. Prejudice is caused through generalization, and this is a generalization against migrants or against foreign nationals or even people who are ethnically different. All kinds of differences are used by people who propagate prejudices in order to do unjust discrimination against people. So we are saying we must, once again mobilize against this. It's not just about the 30th of June, but it's about, many, many years of this sort of thing happening in this country, and particularly in KwaZulu-Natal. We have seen the very basis of this kind of prejudice, which is happening at the moment in this country, and it's going to go on. So simply because they have powerful forces, just as apartheid had powerful forces to back its, policy, and these people who are carrying out this today also have powerful forces that are backing them. And unless we are united very strongly against them, we are going to lose this battle. And South Africa is going to be a disgrace. I've just come from an international conference where for the first time, instead of feeling proud of being a South African, I felt ashamed. I was told by people that we backed Mexico and we didn't back people of Africa who didn't back South Africans at that match. So we know what it means to be on the wrong side of what is correct, what is morally right in the estimation of the world and in our own estimation. So let us do the right thing. Let us remember not just Ubuntu, but what is correct, what is the right thing to do. Our own humanity, let us remember that. And let us, as far as possible, unite strongly against these forces. This is the call that Gandhi Development Trust makes today. We meet to discuss our reaction to this call made by a disruptive, immature, and misled individuals. But we have a much greater task about ahead of us, that of inviting again or uniting against corruption, against state capture, and against and for democracy. Let us, be strong in promoting democracy, but let us also be strong against corruption and against state capture, which we are seeing. And it's because of state capture, that we are not able to actually deal with the situation at the moment. People are going with impunity into businesses, into homes, into townships. And already so many people have been displaced, sent back home, and so on. We need to reinstate our position of, higher moral ground. And let us look at how we can strengthen that. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. And I hope we'll all unite together. Thank you.
Thanks, Ilaben. Thanks for the message from the Gandhi Development Trust. We now come to Person Now. the African Solidarity Network, followed by Honor Machaya from Equal Education. Percy, over to you.
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity, and thank you to Kathrada Foundation. My apologies, I'm unable to continue with my video because of problem with my bandwidth. But actually, I'm here representing Siafana Sonke, and African Solidarity is part of that campaign. So my message is from Siafana Sonke, a recently established action campaign. It was launched on the 15th of June 2026 as a response to the current manufactured migration crisis. The campaign brings together over 130 organizations, movements, and communities confront xenophobia, Afrophobia, scapegoating, division, while directing anger towards the real causes of South Africa's crisis. The campaign is united around 6 principles: rejecting xenophobia, racism, tribalism, and all scapegoating; defending the unity of all who are exploited, impoverished, and excluded; directing legitimate anger towards those with political and economic power; oppose vigilant violence, intimidation, and fascist methods; fight for jobs, services, dignity, and justice for all; and to build solidarity from below. That is Siafana Sonke, the action campaign. And we are very disheartened by the clearly evident state response to the current crisis. And instead of the government trying to calm down the rhetoric, actually divisive rhetoric is coming from the government, and it is actually aided in abetted intimidation and incitement of violence. It is because of this that the campaign has presented a set of demands to the government. We had a meeting with them on this last week. We demand humanitarian intervention, provide emergency shelter, food, water, and basic necessities for displaced migrants, and rejecting the voluntary repatriation claims when people are forced to flee. We also demand accountability for violence. Immediately arrest and prosecute ringleaders of vigilante groups like Operation Dudula and March for inciting violence and intimidation. We also demand a hold to all deportations and insist that the government regularize status, because most of the immigrants who are now illegal were made illegal by the inability of Home Affairs to renew their status, especially during the COVID era. Institute a moratorium on deportations and create an accessible amnesty and documentation process for documented migrants. It is the state's responsibility to control and influence the public discourse, actively counter anti-immigrant scapegoating, and refrain from blaming migrants for South Africa's socio-economic problems. The coalition emphasizes that the government must coordinate security with civil society and provide a concrete plan to protect communities, especially ahead of the vigilante imposed. These demands from where we stand as a campaign, these are legitimate demands that I think important to note that we also want to probably ensure that when they report, they see in the media. For example, last Thursday, while I was watching the Madlanga Commission, there was a news headline that said on SABC that most of the migrants that are undocumented, that are in this country, have got expired permits. But if you look, who has made these people have expired permits? It's Home Affairs that has failed to process these permits. So when you look at the slant of the media, the majority of the media is that it's anti-migrant. So we appeal to the media to ensure that they report fairly without bias, because what you see right now, especially in KZN, is people being headed into these internal displacement camps, and they are headed like animals with no shelter, sometimes with no lights, sometimes with no blankets, and it's cold these days, and the government has done very little to alleviate these conditions that we all saw coming 6 or so months ago. So this is what the campaign is saying to government in South Africa at large. Thank you.
Thank you, Percy. We now move on to Honor from Equal Education. Honor, over to you.
A very good morning, and also thank you to inviting us to this very important dialogue. And just to note the stance of Equal Education, we vehemently reject the shutdown that is planned for the 30th. And I think, as many comrades have also said on the call, we see this as a result of the failing system in the South African context, right? There's schools, for example, in Khayelitsha, where we see innocent kids that are being sent to school, being taken out of school by these different groups, and then tasked to go vandalize sometimes shops of people that are not documented in South Africa. But we know that there's no South African that can go ahead and check who is documented and who's not. And that is solely the responsibility of the state. And many of the problems that we're seeing now are as a result of very disgruntled and frustrated South Africans who feel like they've been placed on hold and they are not being listened to by the current government. If we had borders that were functioning properly, we would not be in this situation that we're currently in today. So it's also a matter of thinking when we see these different groups that are very much disgruntled, how we can then move them together with the left and make them actually see that there is actually a system that they can use that speaks within the confines of the law. As Equal Education, we follow the Section 29 that says every child in South Africa has the right to access quality education. And it's therefore very troublesome and worrisome when we as Equal Education observe these different incidents where young kids are taken out of school because of these different groups that claim that they want to see documentation from the learners when they are in the school. And we do also understand that this is very much also a criminal offense from these different groups. And as Equal Education, one of the ways that we've actually thought about also ensuring that we are present on the ground is that there's a clear need to actually educate and conscientize our people. Yes, we might understand, especially on the call, that there's proper channels of voicing out your frustration and not taking the law into your own hands. But we need to then organize ourselves and to have those spaces, as the previous comrade also spoke about, where we have spaces where we actually have these conversations. But also very much importantly at the same time is that we should also be wary not to have these conversations just amongst ourselves. How do we actually make sure that the person that's affected in the townships and also in the rural communities, they understand what's actually happening and they don't only hear the voices of those people that form these groups that are set out there to actually distract and destabilize our countries. Because in the absence of a voice of reason that actually speaks truth to power, you'll then have these people and these formations speaking on behalf of many South Africans. And because they are closer to the people in the communities, they're able to then persuade them to believing this whole one narrative. But it's important that we stay organized and we mobilize each other and we actually go to the different people that are affected and ensure that we counter the narrative that's already going out there, because the system is essentially failing us, but it's also about organizing ourselves and challenging a system that's failing us instead of allowing these groups to organize and formulate their own narrative that is also now destabilizing our country. And we also can't sit back and fold our arms and watch our country fall apart. We all have the sole responsibility of ensuring that we protect this beautiful country. We also have the same responsibility in ensuring that we educate the different people in our communities. And we also need to ensure that we meet people exactly where they are, because maybe we do understand the call to say no to the shutdown on the 30th, but what is it that we are actually doing to counter this narrative? Because it's not enough to just have these conversations by ourselves and to understand them in our respective either political parties or also our own respective organizations. But we need to take this information out there, because essentially that's how you then build a country that understands what's actually happening. When you build that counter narrative with the people and you move along with the people, we are stronger united. And the more we allow this division to sow into our country, the weaker we then become. And the more then we are unable to also hold a system accountable and to actually speak to people that actually hold this power that we actually speak about in the South African context. So ours is clear as equal education. We reject the shutdown. We say every learner and every person in the community should be protected. And we then also say it's important to educate and conscientize our people. And we should not write them off to say there's a certain group that's now supporting this narrative. But what are we doing about it to ensure that people don't get mobilized and organized into these vigilante activities? Thank you very much.
Thanks, Ona. And that's something we will try to conclude on when we talk about a call to action. But I think the sentiment is shared. Unless we all do the work that's required on the ground wherever is possible, we will not win this war of words. Let's hand over to the Campaign for Free Expression, Nicole Fritz, followed by Wade Manning from Defend Our Democracy. Nicole, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Sean. Thank you to the board of the Ahmed Kathrada Foundation, and thank you to your hard-working staff for convening this very important online rally. We meet at a moment that threatens our sense of ourselves as a country committed to the Constitution, and that is dangerous to our democracy. The rhetoric surrounding the 30th June deadline has created a climate of fear for thousands of people who live in South Africa. Foreign nationals, refugees, asylum seekers, and many South Africans who are simply perceived to be foreign or are undocumented are facing threats, intimidation, and harassment. And in the worst cases, the loss of lives, the shattering of families, and the destruction of homes. That should concern every one of us, regardless of our views on immigration policy. Let me be clear. There is room in a constitutional democracy for robust disagreement about immigration, about border management, and about the state's failures. Those are legitimate political questions, and they are genuine grievances. But there is no place for incitement, intimidation, and dehumanization of people and entire communities. When people are encouraged to see their neighbors not as fellow human beings, but as something less than human, as animals, everyone becomes less safe. And that must be our first concern, the immediate human consequences of hate. But there is a second concern, as if the first were not grave enough. We should ask ourselves who benefits when communities are turned against one another, when public attention is diverted from the country's real challenges, and when instability and lawlessness begins to take hold. When hatred becomes a political instrument and a rallying cry, and when social divisions are exploited, the beneficiaries are seldom ordinary South Africans whose frustrations are being manipulated. The beneficiaries are often those who thrive in instability, polarization, and institutional weakness. In the ensuing instability, in the unrest and the lawlessness that follows, political power gets ceded to authoritarian forces. That is why this moment demands more than condemnation. It demands further organization. Later today, together with the Campaign on Digital Ethics Code, with Moxie Africa, with the Justice and Activism Hub, with the Ahmed Kathrada Foundation, the Campaign on Free Expression will be convening a 20-hour counter-xenophobia hackathon. And the idea behind that is simple. We're bringing together lawyers, journalists, technologists, researchers, fact-checkers, communicators, and civil society organizations to work side by side on practical responses. Some teams will investigate the coordinated online activity and identify patterns of amplification. Others will document false claims and produce rapid fact checks. Others will prepare legal complaints and evidence for platforms, regulators, and where appropriate, law enforcement. Others will develop communications and counter-narratives that can be deployed immediately. We're not pretending that this 20-hour hackathon is going to solve the problem. No single intervention can. But together, we're hoping that we can make organized hatred harder to spread, harder to amplify, harder to disguise, and harder to convert into real-world harm. We're hoping we can demonstrate something else, that civil society is capable of responding rapidly, collaboratively, and smartly when democratic values come under threat. If we build those relationships this weekend, they will outlast this particular moment. They will strengthen our collective ability to respond to whatever comes next. So my message today is a simple one. Do not look away. And obviously all those who are gathered here today on this online rally are not looking away. Do not assume that someone else will do the work. If you have skills, expertise, information, or simply the willingness to contribute, there's a role for you at our hackathon. Even if, like me, you're not young and tech savvy, as I am not, there is a role for you in our hackathon. If you'd like to participate, please let the organizers of this webinar know. They will put you in touch with us. South Africa has overcome moments of profound division before. We do so not by surrendering to fear or hatred, but by standing together in defense of our shared humanity, in defense of Ubuntu and our constitutional democracy. Thank you.
Thanks, Nicole. Before you come in, Wade, there's a message from the Azania movement, Nolubala and Thina. I've noted your message and the call for mass education, especially amongst the young people. That's something we'll factor into the report on this rally and take it further. Our last speaker from civil society, Wade Manning, the Executive Director of Defend Our Democracy. Wade, over to you.
Good morning, and thank you, Sean, and to the Ahmed Kathrada Foundation for the opportunity to be a part of this rally this morning and also to speak on defending our democracy. Yesterday, just right here in Johannesburg, as an organization, we launched our Election Watch campaign, and I spoke about the reality of an elderly woman in South Africa. She is patient. She's weathered by 32 years of unkept promises. She still believes, however, that her vote is hers, that her dignity is real and not theoretical, and that the Constitution still belongs to her. And I think it's so important to bring this up because less than 24 hours later, I find myself defending that exact belief. What is unfolding under the banner of the shutdown is a direct assault on that kind of belief and on every person whose safety and livelihood and humanity is being sacrificed for something else entirely. Defend Our Democracy would like to say that we reject the shutdown completely without qualification. We unequivocally denounce every act of violence, vigilantism, xenophobia, Afrophobia, looting and incitement directed at immigrant communities. What is unfolding here is, we believe, not patriotism at all. When a mob is cornering a human being on a street demanding to see papers, that's not citizenship. That is, in fact, supreme violation of our law, of our supreme law. Section 10 of our Constitution guarantees every person's inherent dignity. Section 12 protects every person from cruel, inhumane, and degrading treatment. That's not just an aspiration, that's the law of our land, and no self-appointed group of enforcers should be able to override that. We should be clear about the facts that are being buried under the noise here. Foreign nationals make up only 11% of South Africa's prison population if we look at some of the stats. And the majority of those are prisoners that have been imprisoned for immigration-related transgressions, not for violent crimes. What we want to say is that crime has no passport. Deportation is not something that's going to fix South Africa's crime rate. Migrants can't be made to carry the weight of our government's failure to govern. In fact, this is scapegoating, and we should not be accepting it. Yesterday, we said the problem in South Africa is not that democracy doesn't work, but that not enough of us are in fact working democracy. And today, I'd love to reiterate that a little bit harder, that there are actually people actively working against it. We must name those people. When we see stuff like this rise up, it is in fact our duty as civil society and those who do believe in our constitution and the future of a better South Africa to call out what is wrong. The architecture of the shutdown and its timing and its coordination, who it's targeting, it can't just be coincidence. It carries the fingerprints of deliberate democratic destabilization. And this is something that we as a country have seen before. We saw it in July 2021. In fact, when Defend Our Democracy was actually born, precisely from that moment, when the Zondo Commission was threatened, when state capture had hollowed out our institutions, and when civil society stood up and said enough. And today we have to say that again. So as DOD, we are calling on law enforcement to prosecute movement leaders, not just the people on the ground. Incitement is a crime under the Prevention and Combating of Hate Crimes and Hate Speech Act, and it must be treated as one. We're calling on those with social media platforms to remove coordinated incitement in real time during this moment. And we call on every institution with influence to use it today, not after the damage is in fact done, while we still have time to do what we can. We find ourselves here partly because of a crisis of governance, and so we cannot ignore that. This is not just a political point, it is a fact. In 2008, over 60 people were killed in xenophobic attacks, and almost no movement leaders were prosecuted then. That pattern of impunity has repeated itself in every cycle of anti-immigrant violence since then. It's been documented that for the past 12 months, vigilante groups have been blocking immigrants from accessing healthcare. We've been seeing protests that have been happening, but the state has largely just looked away. We need better leadership, and we needed it earlier. It's what we're calling for. South Africa can't just keep asking citizens to fulfill government's mandate. And so today we need decisive, constitutionally grounded leadership, the kind that people can actually look to. Just words without a time-bound prosecution plan are not real accountability. On the 5 pillars that DOD represents and works towards, our response to each of those on anti-corruption and democratic destabilization, we call for full investigation into how shutdowns like this are actually being financed and coordinated. And if there is a political hand behind this, the public at some point has a right to know. So to those institutions who are doing this kind of research, to the hackathon that Nicholas just shared with us, that is something that we can all be getting involved in to practically get to the root cause of how this is happening, and that how in the future we ensure this is mitigated with evidence-based research. On the pillar of accountability, we believe that laws must be enforced by our institutions and not by citizens with batons and pangas in hand. On democratic innovation, there's a genuine opportunity here that we believe for
the time is up.
Thanks so much, Chair.
Thank you, Wade. Thanks for Defend Our Democracy. We want to now just move towards conclusion, and I call on the Program Director of our Youth Leadership and Activism Program just to talk about what are the likely action points that we all need to consider. Over to you, Obakeng.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bolton, and good morning to everyone. Thank you for taking your time to join us in this online rally to talk, but also to just express the various views from your different organization. We meet today at a very critical time in our country where action is required beyond just this call. And we are calling on all of you to join us in turning this call into a moment of solidarity, but most importantly, into a moment of deciding on actions that must be taken. We know that a lot of organizations have been releasing statements and planning various things, but we are also just here to share suggestions on various things that can be done. So this is a call to action, but it is not limited to those on the call only. We are urging you to also share it with the others out there who could not make it into this call. One of the suggestions that we are making is that there is a need to amplify the message, and how we can do this is mostly through social media, various media houses that we might be in connection with, radio stations, local radio stations, and newspapers across communities. So we are asking all of you to take from the words that were shared in this call, share codes on your different social media platforms, your personal and organizational ones, to ensure that the messages and the voices that spoke here are not only limited to this online rally, but can reach as many South Africans as possible and beyond. And secondly, we are asking you to engage your communities. And by communities, we mean your neighbor at this moment, if you are able to go and have a conversation with them about what action they can do to defend humanity on the 30th and beyond. But we are asking you to also engage your different organization partners, people in your organization that you work with, in your religious groups, about action that they can take beyond on the 30th and beyond, but most importantly, even now, through their social media platforms, through dialogues that they can have with different people around them, so that we continue the work of amplifying this message. And thirdly, we are asking you to take a public stand. I know that a lot of the organizations here have released statements online. We are asking you to share those statements with various media houses if you have not done so. But we are also asking you to encourage others who have not made these public statements from their organizations to consider writing statements and sharing those statements across different media houses. We cannot allow for only one message to be heard, and those are threats of a shutdown on the 30th. We need to ensure that South Africans are aware that there are others also who are standing against this so-called shutdown and who are willing to act against it. On to the next one, Rita. And most importantly, also, what we are going to do during the course of the week and by Monday is to share a link with all of you via email, where you can just share with us the different things that you are planning across your organizations and the different partners that you are involved with, so that we can find spaces of collaboration. It is not a time to do things in isolation. We need to stand together to ensure that the different work that we do reaches as many people as possible, and that we are able to provide support where it's needed.
Thanks, Obake.
I'm not.
Oh, okay. Carry on. Sorry.
Yes. But most importantly, the work continues after the 30th of June. I heard earlier on Mr. B reading a message from someone from Abahlali, and one of the things that touched me from that message was something that said the panga, I think along the lines of, will attack someone today who is from a different country, but tomorrow is going to attack your cousin from Lusikisiki or someone that you know from Kiane. And eventually we will find ourselves in a situation where you cannot move across provinces because you are not allowed there. If we allow this to continue on the 30th and beyond, if we just keep quiet and fold our arms and do nothing, we are going to lose our country. We are going to lose the democracy that we fought so hard for. So it's important to plan also and organize for work that needs to be done beyond the 30th of June. And ensure that we continue to work in collaboration in doing that work. But also in closing, as we thank you all for, like I said, joining this call, but also for standing up through the statements that you've been sharing, the different activations that you are doing across your different communities. It is very important that we remind communities that in everything that we do, we must ensure that our democracy is defended. We must ensure that it is protected, and that the gains of this democracy are not ridiculed by people who do not have the best interest of communities at heart. So we urge all of you to join us and to create connections within your communities and find those that you can work with in ensuring that we defend this democracy and reject this shutdown. In closing, I think it's very important that we just remember, I think it's a quote by Martin Luther King that says, you need, if you want peace, you need to organize as effectively as those who are organizing for war. So we cannot just sit back and say we are peaceful, we want peace. We need to be organizing for the peace that we want. Thank you.
Thanks. I don't know how you put all of that together, but brilliant stuff. To close off today, let me thank all of you, but ask our board member here, Pumla Williams, just to say a few words, and that will close off today's event. Pumla, over to you.
Okay. Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
We need to see you also.
I'm trying to do that, Sean, but I don't know why the Zoom is unable to detect the camera. I don't know whether it's me. No, I'm not sure. Well, it's refusing, unfortunately. Can I continue? I thought I was going to do that.
Please do.
Let me start off by thanking all the participants from labor, civil society, faith-based organization and political parties, but also not to forget to mention the inputs that were coming from the chat group. Thank you very much. That. And let me also thank the Ahmed Kathrada team led by Shan. I think they were amazing pulling together this event at a short notice. But just as my parting shot, I thought I should also reflect that when we adopted the Constitution in 1996, we committed ourselves to building this country and building a cohesive society that will respect the rule of law. We committed ourselves for building a country that will tackle the issues of unemployment, that will tackle the issues of inequality and poverty. And we should remain, we should not be derailed from that route. And we also committed ourselves to hold each other accountable and making sure that we do the right thing in protecting our democracy. And we equally committed ourselves to hold government accountable. So lastly, let me also join everybody in saying we reject the events of the 30th of June and beyond that. Let us not cower and shy from speaking the voice of reason and also the constitution of our of protecting our democracy. Let me also say our law enforcement agencies have committed that they will ensure that there is a rule of law observed on the 30th and beyond. We want to hold them accountable so that we continue to have a society that we are striving to build, because it is not yet Uhuru. And thank you very much. And let's continue to support the roadmap of the Ahmed Kathrada Foundation as spelled out by Obageng. Thank you very much, Shan.
And on that note, thanks to everybody. Let us do what we can to deal with the various issues that have resulted in these shutdowns and make sure that it doesn't have the support of the numbers that they would hope, and that after the 30th, we get to deal with the more fundamental issues that everybody has highlighted here. Thank you all, and let's hope that tomorrow night we will be singing and dancing in the streets. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.